Alright, so now we are on the Deckard Cain quest. This one is actually important to do, so we're not going to be skipping it. Really, I don't want to skip any of the quests the first time around. Eventually, we'll be working our way through normal difficulty, and then after that, through nightmare difficulty. And depending on how the loot goes, we might even be doing hell. I'm not going to guarantee it, though. Well, since one way led to the side quest area, I guess you could just call it the quest area, considering how few total quests we have. The other path must lead to the onward area. Hey, scroll of identify. It's like picking up 80 gold. A mana recharge shrine. Well, that will confer upon us a blessing that recharges our mana, like it says. But I don't spend all that much mana, so why bother? Guess I could have a lamp on my head. And it's an indication to me that I've been this way. I guess the minimap is already that too, but you know, it's nice to have confirmation. You know what? A short bow would probably be better than the nothing that Paige currently has equipped, so let's give her that.
I'll put that to good use.
I'm sure you will. Ooh, I picked up a charm, didn't I? Well, the poison damage isn't going to do anything for me because I'm never dealing damage to monsters. 12% faster hit recovery, though, will make my recovery animation go more quickly. This is really important. You can have lots of defenses, but unless you have damage reduction or something, being able to recover from hits quickly and then get out of danger is super important. Especially if you're up against monsters who, for instance, cast cold upon you and then slow all your animations. Having fewer total frames in which your recovery animation goes is really crucial. Yeah, it's gonna constantly be mana hungry or something. No, come, Paige, get over here. You're supposed to provide covering fire for Dave. Covering fire for Daves. There, well, that was really neat. 1, 2, 3. Nice coordinated effort from Dave, Dave, and Dave. I guess it's natural that they coordinate, eh? Oh, that is a scroll of identify. How about that? Oh, and a stamina potion. The running will reduce your stamina. If you drink a stamina potion, it will recover instantly and give you a temporary period of maximum stamina, like we had with the stamina shrine. So it's kind of neat. Not anything super great, though, so... Again, stamina potions are one of those things that just becomes irrelevant later. There's rather a lot of that in this game. Then again, where I stand, only the skeletons matter. Every now and again you have to step back and examine what's truly important in life. Oh, come on, crew. We're gonna go onward. Ew. Ah. That's just gross. Let's avoid that. Looks like we have a couple new enemies. And we've seen the ghouls before. We've seen the rogues before. I heard the goatmen, though, and I see a couple of their corpses. These are the Moon Clan. All the goatmen are named clan of some sort. In Diablo 3, they call them Khazra for silly reasons. Talk about the importance of goatmen as a plot point. Alright, well... Probably I just want to boost Ray's skeleton here because our next level will get us a 4th Dave. I've been kind of comfy with life, so I want access to the next better set of equipment. This is a stony field. We'll eventually be returning here after making a tour through it and on to a later part, but there are a couple things I want to find first. This is one of them. These are the Cairn Stones. And that is Rakanishu, a super unique monster. He's always lightning enchanted. I think he's always extra fast, too. That might not be an always thing, though. Let's do a little skeleton raising dance. Get a chipped ruby. Hey, well. You feel much stronger now, huh? Well, as do I. When you're in-game like this, hitting the Enter key will bring up the message prompt. If you simply type something, it will appear up at the top and say your character said it. If you preclude it... Precede it with an exclamation point, then it will appear above your character's head. I presume that's what Paige was doing a moment ago. So, having found the Cairn Stones and defeated their protector, we next want to find the waypoint. There should be a stony field waypoint. It will be pretty important to our getting back. Oh! The foul crows. They're small and fast. They don't hit particularly hard. And they're kind of obnoxious. Not terribly noteworthy as monsters beyond that. Act 1 monsters tend to be a little... vanilla. Not all too threatening. There are a couple of standout exceptions, though. We're also getting past the point where monsters have, like, a single hit point. So it's pretty good that we have some damage upgrades on our Daves. Now, is level 3 enough to wear the better thing?
I'll put that to good use.
Ah, good. So now Paige gets to have greater power. Paige is passively sharing a little experience whenever Dave or, I guess, I get a kill. A wand, you say. +1 to teeth, you say. Well, that's not all that good, but it is saleable. I really don't care. Leather gloves of strength. Who needs strength? I mean, as a passive one-shot bonus, meh. I am going to need to pump it just to wear equipment, though. I think that... yeah, required strength 15. Well, most starting classes have that, so that's not too big a deal, but later on, you might need a lot more strength. Now, another one of the reasons that I'm not running all the time, and I've kind of trained myself to do this over time when playing with different classes, is that even though the usual to-hit formula involves an attack and a defense rating, if you're running, your defense rating doesn't count. And if you're walking, it only counts half. Half is not nothing, though. Alright, well, we found the waypoint. Since we're here, may as well sell off some things that we're never going to need.
Good evening.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, that's not bad. I hesitate to sell too many scrolls of town portal or keys. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're not going to need a ton of those. I might eventually want mana potions, but not right now. I think we're going to save these for later, so let's go ahead and put all our stuff away. You know, I'm probably going to sell the faster hit recovery charm because taking up 3 slots of my inventory for that is not working, so let's talk to Charcy too. Wait for her to go through a little animation to be polite, and then tap her on the hey, come back here! Tap you on the shoulder. There we go. I guess we didn't need a repair. Oh, it also sells for a bunch. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, well. There's one more check to see if we have any wands to purchase, since we have almost enough purchasing power to get a great one. And she randomly has a lot of wands. +1 to raise skeleton and dim vision. Well, if I cared about dim vision, that would be cool. Raise skeleton and fire resist. It would technically be an upgrade, but not one I care for. See, we want something more like this. Raise skeleton and skeleton mastery and amp damage. That's actually all of the things that I like doing, but again, because of the magic mod, which is useless to us, it costs almost double what it should. Such is life. Diablo 2 is secretly about shopping, by the way. Alright, well, we found the two things that we wanted in the stony field. So we're off through the underground passage to the dark wood. Now, that short bow might actually be something. Oh, hey! The moldy tome. Why, let's talk to the colonel and see what he has to say.
And so it came to pass that the Countess, who once bathed in the rejuvenating blood of 100 virgins, was buried alive. And her castle, in which so many cruel deeds took place, fell rapidly into ruin. Rising over the buried dungeons in that god-forsaken wilderness, a solitary tower, like some monument to evil, is all that remains.
But not like other monuments to evil that you might have heard of.
Believed to be divided among the clergy, although some say that more remains unfound, still buried alongside the rotting skulls that bear mute witness to the inhumanity of the human creature.
Oh, that's cool and all, and it also gave us a quest. This one. We're on this quest, though, so we might come back to this. The Forgotten Tower is absolutely optional as far as quests go. There are different degrees of optionalness. I guess really it's breakability to their little sequence that they have going on. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy like sequence breaking, though, and really the one glitch that we've seen so far is probably the only one I'm going to do. And that's so minor that in 10 years they never patched it out. Who are you? Seethe, burn, the cold enchanted. Whoa. Now, you gotta give cold enchanted monsters a wide berth because of that. They explode into a cold nova when they die. And I don't mind Dave and Paige taking that for me, but man, do I not want to take it. Especially if I can stay out of the way. The cold enchanted monster will, of course, also get bonus cold damage and slow your monsters down. Let's see if we can get Paige to do her trick. She's done it a couple times before, but... Paige, over here. There it goes. See that little sparkle she does? That also puts sparkles on the monsters, making them easier for Dave to hit. It also lights them up in these dark places. It's pretty useful. You know what? You get to have a cap. That's our first ethereal item. Ethereal items have some transparency to them. You can see it's sort of ghostly. Woo! Now, this one also happens to be socketed, so it has both of the reasons that an item would show up as gray. Ethereal items always start at max durability and cannot be repaired. That is, they can't be repaired by, like, Charcy or other blacksmiths. If it has an auto mod on it that makes it indestructible, they call it in this game, then it won't need to be repaired and it won't have a durability. And also, if it has an auto mod that will auto repair it, that still works. Oh, and if you put an ethereal item on your minion, it will never lose durability. So yeah, there's the little sparklies. Saw that for a split second there. Oh, hey. Hard leather armor might actually be something. Yeah, monsters are dying too quickly to really show off the sparklies. Heyo. You know what that means. Yep, we're up to 4 Daves. Let's do the summoning dance. There we go. 4 new Daves. Let's see, how are you doing? 6 to 7, plus 21% damage. 4 skeletons total. That's not bad. So on the team, I have a whole lot of life. Even though I myself only have 102. Thanks to Dave, we have an extra 500. Ooh, hey. A hunter's bow. Nah, that's probably going to be junk. Hunter's bow. That's probably also going to be junk. This has 2 sockets, though. This could be really good. So currently, Paige, if you hit the O, you'll get your minion inventory, by the way. Currently, Paige has this. Attack rating and fire damage. She probably doesn't need the attack rating at this level, frankly. So if we could just boost her damage, that would be great. Okay. There should be a bonus dungeon somewhere in here, but it looks like we've found the exit to the Darkwood first, and that's really what we want, so off we go. I'm not so much of a completionist that I have to kill every single monster. We've been finding a lot of arrows, and that's useless to us, but if you're a class that uses a bow and arrow, you need arrows for ammunition, and it would equip over here. So you have your bow on this side and arrows on this side. Paige is a magic lady, so she does not even need arrows.
Use that.
Yep. She just gets her own from nowhere. I guess she makes them as she goes or something. Yeah, it looks like Dave still has enough damage. I think we'll just pump Ray's skeleton for a while.
I can't use that.
Yep. Only bows, no crossbows. I guess they didn't want to have to create a different character model for the crossbow wielding sort. Look, a key inside the locked chest. We've encountered a couple wells, but I haven't been able to use them yet. When you click on a well, one of its uses will go, and it will heal some of your life and mana and that of all of your minions. It will also remove any curses that are on you, so it can be really, really useful. A well is pretty much better than any shrine you're going to find, frankly. The best part is they will regenerate themselves over time, so in rainy areas or areas that are, there it goes, areas that are particularly wet, like this one, it'll just fill back up, giving you more than 2 shots. It is exceedingly useful for me because I actually don't have all that many ways of healing Dave, aside from unsummoning and recasting them. Now, the Darkwood Waypoint is one of the things that we wanted to find here. So we've been We're 4 for 4 on waypoints so far. And next we want to find a tree. Whoops. Haha. After not trying to click on monsters, I mistakenly clicked outside of the window. Ugh. Sorry about that. Oh look, we found it. Well, that was Treehead Woodfist. He is extra fast and extra strong. At least while he was alive. I don't really want any of his junk. Experience shrine. We'll hit that in a minute. First, though, we want to click on this gnarly old, gross-looking tree. Ugh.
This tree shines with inner spirits.
So you say. What it shines with is the Scroll of Inifis, a quest item that doesn't do anything. Well, not for us, anyway. With all that we know about skeletons, we are illiterate, so we have to find someone who can read.
Ah, very good. I have translated the runes on this scroll. You must find the cairnstones and touch them in the order that I have written.
Okay, well, sure. Stonyfield has the Cairnstones in it. We can read this with a cool animation. Oh, our pre-rendered stuff is so neat. But that doesn't actually matter. You cannot fail this.
Greetings.
Okay. Let's take a look at that. More life. Sure. That's probably better. And this one can go to our minion. And we don't have any... well, we kind of have the emerald and the ruby in the backdrop, but I don't think that's going to be enough of an upgrade to warrant it, so... 3 to energy, or I guess... Actually, I'm going to sell this one because it sells for more and I don't actually care about attack rating. Why not? Alright, let's give you that, because it is a strict upgrade for you. And sell Bone Jack, leather armor. Cool as that name was. Alright, so... let's take a look at your weapons again. Ah, that would be... good lord, look at that price. Yeek. And again, a Corpse Explosion is one of the next tier of skills, so that kind of makes sense. If you leave town and come back, Akara and all the other vendors will have changed up their inventory. So let's see. Ooh, +3 to raise skeleton. That is probably the pick. That is going to be very good for a very long time. It even has a socket in case I ever cared about that. And again, because we, like, swept through a skill point, one of our Daves went down. Here, have a wand. A monument to a lost Dave. Anyway, now we have 8 total points in Raised Skeleton, and we're almost at our 5th Dave. Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes, please. Alright, so... stones are back where we left them. If we had not found them earlier, we would have to go find them at this point. The game has cleaned up a lot of the corpses, which is unfortunate, because I could rather use some at the moment. We'll be finding corpses soon enough, though. Oh, hey. Let's just make them a bunch. New Daves. Okay, so what I was saying about not failing this, as soon as you have the Scroll of Inifis, key to the Cairnstones or whatever, you can just sort of click on them until they go. So I didn't bother to memorize the order or anything. You just sort of keep doing it. Alright, and that made a red portal to a different place.
All that's left of proud Tristram are ghosts and ashes.
you know, I think there's a little bit more left of it. I mean, look, a rock wall. That burning building. This body with a bunch of arrows sticking through it. And look, here's Deckard Cain and a little gibbet.
Deckard Cain, if you value your...
I must have, I can't click on him anymore. No! I guess he had a scroll. Which sort of makes me wonder why he didn't do that while he was in the cage. Anyway, there were some champion monsters over here. They're sort of generically improved over other monsters. And they usually drop gold. This is Griswold. He's another super unique monster. He's always cursed. That is the Amplify Damage curse. Dave now takes double damage from all incoming physical. Which is a pain, but Dave's pretty tough. So much for Griswold. Paige also died a moment ago, so we're going to have to deal with that. Amp damage is no joke. Alright, well, that was pretty good. There's no other reason to stick around here, really. It's full of pretty powerful monsters compared to where and when you find it. That's cool music, I guess. Power leveling strategies usually stuck around in Tristram for a while. There's only one other thing of note in here, and that's Wirt's body. It'll produce a bunch of gold and give you Wirt's leg, which is a relic of no particular importance. In this case, a 3-socketed Wirt's leg. Like we need that junk. Anyway, let's leave post-haste and go revive our minion.
Hello.
Just a moment, Deckard.
Greetings.
Yeah, we have to pay a cost to resurrect Paige.
As a token of my gratitude, I will identify items for you at no charge. Regrettably, I could do nothing to prevent the disaster which devastated Tristram. It would appear that our greatest fears have come to pass. Diablo, the Lord of Terror, has once again been set loose upon the world. As you know, some time ago, Diablo was slain.
Diablo?
by Tristram, and when our hero emerged triumphant from the labyrinth beneath town, we held a grand celebration that lasted several days. Yet, as the weeks passed, our hero became increasingly aloof. He kept his distance from the rest of the townsfolk and seemed to lapse into a dark, brooding depression.
That frequently happens after you complete Diablo 1.
So disturbing that he simply could not put it out of his mind. The hero seemed more tormented every passing day. I remember he awoke many times, screaming in the night, always something about the East. One day he simply left, and shortly thereafter Tristram was attacked by legions of foul demons. Many were slain, and the demons left me to die in that cursed cage.
Then, instead of killing
I
you.
believe now that Tristram's hero
Ah,
was
well.
that dark wanderer who passed this way before the monastery fell. I fear even worse, my friend. I fear that Diablo has taken possession of the hero who sought to slay him. If true, Diablo will become more powerful than ever before. You must stop him, or all will be lost.
Deckard Cain has been full of crap since forever. Just so happens that he's right. Just jumps to conclusions, and then, oh look, it turns out they're correct. I was right the whole time, you goofy guy. Anyway, he is pretty useful. He will identify items for free. Let's see, we got Paige back, have a good wand, have a bunch of Daves. We're about to level. And we have the waypoint back to the Darkwood, so I don't have to do all that much running either. Up next on our tour will be the Black Marsh. And while we're on our way there, I have a little bit more time to talk about how Dave works. The power of your individual skeletons is somewhat random and somewhat controlled by when you cast them and your level. So, now that I've gained a level, I'm level 8. Any skeletons that I create will also be level 8. Of course, I don't want to make any until I've boosted my raised skeleton skill, which also increases some of the parameters of the skeleton, but not all of them. You can see that the damage percentage goes up at the next level there, and their attack and defense and life improve. And like I said, every 3 levels gets me an additional skeleton. So we should be up to 5, and really I want to cast all 5 of them. So after we're done clearing up this area and making a wondrous amount of corpses, I think we just want to cast that 5 times and see how we do. There we go. So now we have 5 level 8 Daves. I said that was most of what controls how powerful they are, but not all of it. See, Dave has a random chance to have a shield as well. Although most of the Daves appear like they should have shields, not all of them technically do. They only have a 1 in 5 chance of having one. You will very occasionally see them go through a little flinch animation for blocking stuff. You'll even hear the tink noise that they make. I guess I should have picked up a shield by now, too. I've passed some by without thinking about it, really, but I guess it doesn't matter all that much. Ugh. Look at all this. What a mess. I mean, I guess technically I'm invading their home, but still. Let's see, anything useful or relevant? Not really. I suppose I could have some healing and mana potions. That Superior Targe is a paladin-only item. I won't be able to make use of it myself. Not on me or any of my minions. Although, there is one skill that would let me make use of it. Oh hey, chipped amethyst. I didn't hear the noise for that. Alrighty, well that was exciting. Didn't have to do much myself. Take good care of Dave and he'll do a lot of work for you. And well, you say, but Kaz, aren't you putting a lot of points into a low-level skill? I mean, look at your tree. It's all full down to way here. You can't even put points into Revive until level 30. So you might think I'm setting myself up for an eventual failure. Well, for one thing, you have three free respecs, which is kind of hard to say, huh? 3 free respecs, if you choose to use them, which would let you move around your skill points at a later level. I'm not doing that, though. Because even though you start off with skeletons very early, they can remain good basically forever. And that's the magic of Dave. Why I love him so well. You're a good guy, Dave. There's one other skill that I don't need to make use of for a long time that will also make it viable, and we'll get to that much later. I picked up a jewel a few seconds ago. It's this. Jewels go into sockets. The different thing about jewels from other socketables is that you need to identify them. They are magical, and they will have the same mods on them regardless of what you put them into. This can often let you get things on different items that are frequently not in that slot. There's a gem shrine over there. We're going to come back to that if I remember. Not now, though. If I touch that now, I would randomly get a next level up emerald or amethyst. If I didn't have either of those, I would get a random base level gem. Sorry about that. Didn't really mean to disturb your rest. Sometimes I click without thinking, and that's just awful. Oop! Did you hear that noise? That was the trap noise. We'll be hearing it plenty throughout the game. Whenever you hear a trap, you probably want to go away and duck to one direction a little. That will keep you safe from almost all of the traps that can pop out. And on later levels, the traps can do a ton of damage and really take you by surprise.